somehow. All right, production. Production, I believe we are live, and yeah, we've had a full-blown hack over here at TATN. Small ups to the spooks and the hackers, Chinese and Russians and the bots. Eat one, eat a fat one. Still happy. Eat one. All right, so hold on, y'all. Let's see. Uh, oh boy. All right, so today. Hold on, y'all. We're queuing the show. TATN, 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 TATN. All right, the Silverbacks in the building. Hey, we're gonna drop that link in the chat. If you want to slide through, talks politics, we own it. I guess they don't want us talking about this coonery. I guess they know my gloves are off. Yeah, I'm taking them off. The gloves are off today. All right. Let's get the children out of the room. Let's get the white folks out. The white folks can say, let's get the pink people in. They need to hear this. And then also all coons, house Negroes, etc. We're bringing it today. I'm bringing it today. And today's topic is house Negroes and coonery within the sports broadcasting diaspora. I want to thank you guys for your patience as we've been having some major technical difficulties, small ups to the spooks. We black first around here. Here we go.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research.
Fair use.
Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
All right, so we got the fair use out of the way, and then you guys like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. We got that out of the way.
I'm a Democrat. Oh, he's all about it. All about.
Thoughts on the George Zimmerman verdict?
Well, I agreed with the verdict.
Yeah.
I feel sorry that young kid got killed, but they didn't have enough evidence to charge him.
What about black on black crime? Where's the white women at? All white people ain't bad. We is our own worst enemy.
We've always had a racial issue in this country, and the biggest problem with it is we never discuss race until something bad happens. We never have meaningful dialogue over a cold beer when things are going good. But what happens is everybody, when something bad happens, everybody has a tribe mentality. Everybody want to protect their own tribe, whether they're right or wrong.
What do you mean when they're right or wrong?
We all got bad characters in our group. We all got bad characters.
Karen got more balls than this
My
bitch.
grandmother taught me, you judge everybody on their own individual merit. You don't care what any other jackass.
Karen's disgusted with him.
You don't put everybody together. Black is not always right, and white is not always wrong. You got some bad apples who taking advantage of the situation. Sides. That's the point. You got, and that's unfortunate because this is a serious. Somebody lost a child, and this is something we need to sit back and discuss and figure out what happened, what went wrong. But let me say this: the notion that white cops
he's getting paid.
flat out ridiculous. And I challenge any black person to try to make that point. This notion that the cops are actually awesome. You know, they're the only
Wow.
thing in the ghetto from between this place being the Wild Wild West. So this notion that cops are out there just killing black men is ridiculous.
Wow.
And I hate that narrative coming out of this entire situation.
What about the case we're waiting for the results to come down from the grand jury for Eric Garner here in New York, right? I mean, it's one thing in Ferguson, there's some audio, but you see the video, you see these cops
he's not even resisting.
him,
Watch what he said.
He ultimately, it was a homicide.
This man ain't even resisting.
I don't think it was a homicide. I don't think it was a homicide. I think
what was that? It was a chokehold. You see it.
Well, I think the cops were trying to arrest him, and they got a little aggressive. I think excessive force, something like that. But to go right to murder, when the cops are trying to arrest you, if you fight back, things go wrong. That doesn't mean I don't think they were trying to kill Mr.
You a jackass.
You know, he was a big man.
You're a pussy.
And they tried to get him down.
And you're a pussy.
You know, I'm hearing so much from different
people. And you're a coon. You're getting paid.
People who
you're
come
a
on
slave.
my show, African Americans saying,
you should be ashamed of your damn self.
I was taught it at a young age.
You got a Karen
I have different rules
trying to wake you up
when I deal with police. And there's a lot of getting that off people's chests right now because of what happened in Ferguson. There's a lot of anger. There's a lot of frustration. What can we as a country do with this energy right now?
Well, first of all, we can open a dialogue, and I think that's probably what I did was open a dialogue. Look, in fairness,
open a dialogue. It's been 400 years, you bitch.
Crooks. And when the police come to your neighborhood, it's a tense situation. The only time you interact with the cops is when things are going wrong. That's the only time we ever interact with the cops. But first of all, we as black people, we got a lot of crooks. We can't just wait until something like this happens. We have to look ourselves in the mirror. There's a reason they racially profile us at times. Sometimes it's wrong, but sometimes it's right. So to act and sit there and act like we hold no responsibility for some of this stuff, it's just disingenuous.
Well,
back during slavery, when black people like me talked to the slaves, they didn't kill him. They sent some old house Negro along behind him to undo what he said. You have to read the history of slavery to understand this. There were two kinds of Negroes. There was that old house Negro and the field Negro. And the house Negro always looked out for his master. When the field Negroes got too much out of line, he held them back in check. He put them back on the plantation. The house Negro could afford to do that because he lived better than the field Negro. He ate better, he dressed better, and he lived in a better house. He lived right up next to his master in the attic or the basement. He ate the same food his master ate and wore his same clothes. And he could talk just like his master. Good diction. And he loved his master more than his master loved himself. That's why he didn't want his master hurt. If the master got sick, he'd say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" When the master's house caught a fire, he'd try and put the fire out. He didn't want his master's house burned. He never wanted his master's property threatened. And he was more defensive of it than the master was. That was the house Negro. But then you had some field Negroes who lived in huts, had nothing to lose.
Nothing.
They wore the worst kind of clothes, they ate the worst food, and they caught hell. They felt the sting of the lash.
Man.
They hated their master.
Thanks.
Oh, yes, they did. If the master got sick, they prayed that the master died. If the master's house caught a fire, they prayed for a strong wind to come along. This was the difference between the two. And today you still have house Negroes and field Negroes.
Yes, sir. All right, y'all. So we had that's a good way to start it out. And so welcome to the 6th episode of Mouthpiece Included. I hope you can hear me. Our sound check and everything ain't like normal. So let us know in the chat if we're too loud or too low. We definitely like to know that. Today in the building, we got my Silverback Ace He's in the building. But before he steps up, I want to handle some intro. You good, Ace, but I want to just get this intro out the part, just to give y'all an idea of what we're going over today. We got Coons. Definition. Coonin. Coons with tap dance and play instruments and sing and perform for the master and white man. That's what coons do. Paint their face, big red lips. Modern day coons are blacks who play stereotypical roles and black entertainers who promote ignorance. That's according to the Urban Dictionary. Cooning is someone acting or behaving like a coon, i.e., singing and dancing in public with white people watching. You would be cooning. Okay. Now, as the brother just explained, Malcolm X, rest his soul, the house Negro. That's a black person who rejects their cultural identity to please the white man. This term is generally less offensive than the house nigger. And this was, both definitions were according to the Urban Dictionary. And the reason I looked that up, these people may not be coons. They may simply be house Negroes. So let's go ahead and out of Chicago, Leo High School, all right, we've got us a 6 foot, 200 and some odd pounds, silverback sophomore. What up, fool? What say ye?
What up?
Well, cheers. Hey, you know the business though. You get yourself a quick intro and quick plug.
Greetings from the south side of Chicago. Big Ace here, representing Jackie Robinson West Baseball, regulators from the south side of Chicago, University of Illinois, and the Washington family. Happy Thursday, Mouthpiece included. How's it going, y'all?
And hey, big ups to JRW too, man. Big ups.
It's getting warm here, man. We're close to hitting that dirt every day. Every day, you know, we were at 40 degrees at the beginning of the week.
Yeah, but that's what makes those boys so tough. That's why they be ranking, the World Series. You know what I mean?
That's why they need them in the Big Ten. They can't get those Florida boys and those California boys to play in the Big Ten.
Bro, you remember at U of I, the six pack, a lot of athletes stayed there, and on my floor, bro, was a bunch of pink cats who played baseball, and they was all from Florida, and it was cool in Cali. And come sophomore year, something like that, they was gone because most of them couldn't take the weather and the lifestyle, bro.
Yeah. It's totally different. You gotta have a different skin to play baseball in the Midwest. They normally go down south to begin their seasons in February and early March, but you still got to come back here in April and May and play some baseball, and it's still cold. It's still cold in Illinois, Michigan, Wisconsin, Ohio, all those Big Ten states. So, got to have those tough city kids, the tough kids that are used to the elements to make it happen. So big shout outs to Jackie Robinson West, 50th year anniversary. We're having a Friends and Family Day. When I get the exact date, it will be announced here on TATN Mouthpiece.
Hey, JRW, what? It was founded in 69 or 70 or 71, bro? 71?
A year was skipped
50
last
years,
year due to COVID. So you're looking at
so they didn't count that?
70.
Okay.
Didn't count that. You didn't play.
That's crazy, bro. That's why when I was coming up, it was just bud. And I remember they used to be trying to, man, you need to play for Jackie Robinson. Yeah, I didn't realize it was all so new at that point. You know what I
mean? Yeah. I mean, my guys were playing for the West back then, but I was more interested in hooping and partying. So
Facts. So you guys, today's the 13th, and we're doing Coonin and sportscasters or sportscasting. Um, you guys may have seen those videos, and once again, we apologize for the late start, and we're going to give an abridged version today. So I want to start you out, Ace. We did a definition of Coonin according to the Urban Dictionary. Do you have anything to add to that? To any definition of Coonin?
was Charles Barkley picture in there when you looked the definition up?
They didn't have his. I forgot who they was. Man, they listed a couple though, bro. They went hard. And they did. They listed they listed examples, but they didn't put Barkley up there.
Well, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, and we got a lot of crooks in our neighborhoods.
Man,
really?
Man, yeah, those crooks are wearing blue uniforms.
Yeah.
But when was the last time he been in his neighborhood? I mean, like really living there, bro. He graduated, he went to college, right? He was an athlete, so they took care of him there, right?
Yeah.
And then he went off to the pros. What the hell does he know about what's going on in the black community?
Not a damn thing. What he see on TV? Yeah, he was selling them cigarettes. He shouldn't have been resisting arrest. Selling those cigarettes.
And did you see him when he was on the ground, bro? He had his hands up. Is Barkley looking at the same film?
Yeah, he's not looking at anything. He's answering the questions based on the teleprompter they have in front of him and the strings that they have in his back or whatever's going on in that video. But as a black man, I don't care who you've been married to or how much money you got. If you don't have any empathy for a brother that you see with his hands out being choked to death, there's something really wrong with you.
Facts.
So,
man, I agree, bro. So, and then you saw that Malcolm X Negro speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but now you mentioned that they list his picture. You want to list some notorious coons? You got any coons or house Negroes that jump out at you historically? Now, we're gonna drop names. We're gonna drop names today. Now, these are just our opinions. We're not saying this is fact, and this is not the opinions of TATN necessarily.
This is a disclaimer. This is purely the opinion of ACE. I mean, you got to throw your Stephen A. Smiths in there, and your now. Let me ask you this: you got your coons as far as boisterous coons, your Showtime, your razzmatazz coons, and you just have coons that is just basically their mentality, and then they're going to spew that coonery on the air. It doesn't have to be as boisterous as a Stephen A. Smith, for example.
Correct. There's Fletchins and there's coons and there's house Negroes. Some of them are just house Negroes, bro.
Right. And it's got to be the majority of the sportscasters on television that don't end up getting fired for dating a prostitute or having fun. I mean, that's how most of them go out. They find them in a hotel room with a prostitute and they fire them.
Sprinkle a little crack on them.
Yeah. You're looking a little cracky today. Still on your lapel.
Let white trash show up in a SS uniform and write a report, and everybody takes his word as gospel. I feel like you're listening to the Klansman over there because he's wearing a SS suit. They literally be listening to the SS, bro. But okay.
And what did he do?
Yeah. Now, notable coons in sports broadcasting. I'm gonna say we're gonna get into them though. We're gonna get into it. Booger McFarland jumps out at me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, anybody, a black man that comes on the television screen and it's okay with the people calling him Booger.
I mean, some cats just be drinking all the Kool-Aid, bro. You know, they just be drinking all the Kool-Aid, man. So, um,
Yeah, you can drink the Kool-Aid, but you're not gonna take me on national TV and call me Booger.
yeah, you know, I hear you, man. I hear you, Booger. You know, I think I'd rather have they just call me Nigger McFarland. You know what I mean? Just cut out the middleman. You know, shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, why not? All right, but we got a 57-second video. We're gonna run, and you know, we don't have the technology that we normally have here today. So, like I said, we're gonna Deborah wing it.
All right.
Yeah. So let's see. The 57-second is Charles Barkley from CBS Philly. He's facing
Former
backlash.
Sixer and current basketball analyst Charles Barkley is facing backlash for his comments on the Breonna Taylor case. Last night during the NBA pregame show, he said Taylor's death should not be compared to other recent high-profile cases.
You know, we do have to take into account that her boyfriend did shoot at the cop and shot a cop.
What's this motherfucker?
So, like I say, even though I'm really sorry she lost her life,
You ain't sorry for shit.
I don't think that we can just say we can put this in the same situation with George Floyd and Ahmaud Arbery. I just don't believe that.
Hall of Famer and co-host Shaquille O'Neal agreed with Barkley. Now both are facing criticism on social media. Sports reporter Jamel Hill said, with all due respect to the TNT crew, Kentucky Attorney General Daniel Cameron did not present the full story in his public comments. He presented half-truths to shape a narrative. The police were careless and reckless and tried to cover their expletive.
Now you got Jamil Hill. You got Jamil Hill calling them on it. You know, she actually gave up her position at ESPN over you know, trying to speak out.
Yeah. She didn't want to be part of the Coonin, bro.
Yeah. She figured she had enough money in her bag. She wasn't going to be poor. She had a platform, and she's going to be all right. But now, did you hear this guy? He's talking about Breonna Taylor, that case.
Yeah, it was her fault for being in the house.
The boyfriend's fault for somebody kicking his door in, not announcing who they are. Even if he is a hustler, that's all the more reason why. I'm not saying it's right to be a drug dealer, people. But even if he is a drug dealer, that's all the more reasons why he might be on edge, because we live in a real world where people rob drug dealers, and they're usually people in SS uniforms who take those uniforms off and then put criminal uniforms. And did I say that out loud? You know, 12 is the biggest gang in the city, but this isn't what this show is about.
Most of them are adamant about their Second Amendment right to bear arms until we bear arms.
Correct.
A situation where somebody's kicking in your door and yelling, "Get on the floor," or shooting, or whatever they did first, whatever story they come up with for the lawyers.
It was a no-knock warrant. They didn't announce themselves. The neighbors said they didn't announce themselves. They lied and said they did. You know, they just want to kick somebody's door in, and they think that a human being's not going to start busting shots at them.
Right. And that was the only thing that the SS member was charged with, was recklessly shooting at because his bullet went into the other apartment. Other than that, you know, they had no problem with them kicking in the door.
And they should have charged the judge.
Yeah. For stupidity.
Yes, for issuing the warrant. You know, the no-knock warrant should be for something like, you know, maybe they're harboring kidnapped kids, or, you know, something like that. Even then, though, I mean, like, you know, it's just, you got to announce yourself or you're going to get shot at. Criminals pretend to be cops knocking on doors.
Right. I mean, we're veering off into a whole different show topic, but you know, but the fact that, you know, you have these two millionaire black athletes that have no concern for their fellow African Americans being put in a situation to defend themselves from someone kicking in the door.
You know, that's why Kenny Smith walked off the show. I'm sure he gets tired of hearing that shit, bro.
Yeah.
You remember he walked off that day, man?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. You know, he never made as much money as Shaq and Charles. You know, this is his main job,
and he was still willing to walk away from it.
Right, because it's to be on a platform such as TNT and to be spewing some nonsense like that on a nightly basis. When you have the opportunity to expose what's going on, it's criminal.
And we're gonna get there, bro. We're gonna get there. Stop your video. I'll stop it. This is what I'm talking about.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Some controversial things you said lately about the black community. You want to talk about it?
No.
No, for black atheists?
No.
Group?
Of course not.
You sure?
I do not.
You talk about it on CNN.
I'm not working right now.
Yeah, I don't.
I didn't know it was about a working thing. I thought it was your
You got to
personal.
check for the.
I'll talk about my personal when I'm working.
Okay.
Talk about his personal opinions when he works.
Coonery in the statement?
I don't think anything. I think some people gonna like me and some people gonna kiss my ass. They can get either line they want to.
Okay. Thank you for talking to me.
You're welcome.
What a jackass. That's your boy, man. That's how you gotta run up, man. That's how. Hey, let me start seeing these coons, bro. I got my camera. TATN gonna start running up on them too. You know.
Yeah.
So you Coonin on TV. You want to talk about that? You know what I'm saying?
Coonin. No comment.
Yeah, I'm just out here. I'll talk about my personal stuff at work.
What a monkey.
Hey, but yeah, big ups to the homegirl
Can I say that?
for that video. Huh?
Can I say that on the air?
Yeah, oh yeah, you can call him a monkey. He's a primate. But now, because we disagree, because I almost just said it, because we disagree with this man, he's not my brother, this man in blackface or any of them. Because we disagree with their point of view, is it appropriate for us to say shut up and dribble?
I mean, he should have a point of view, but to constantly beat on the narrative that you're totally uninformed, you know, he doesn't have to be quote unquote woke every time he speaks on TNT or someone runs up to him with the camera, but he is a black man. You got to, and you know, he's college educated. I guess he went to college. Maybe he walked through the hallways. I don't know.
Yeah,
but he's got to have some.
He didn't read a book, but go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Got to have some kind of sense of mentality of who he is, and I think the exposure, college educated, of different people, different races, different minds of rich, poor, in between, should impart some kind of knowledge on you of what's going on in this world. I mean, he's been able to travel all over the world as Charles Barkley. So you can't pick up any kind of sensibility of what's going on in this world by traveling the world. Yeah, he's definitely a monkey.
Well, and I appreciate your candor and your class. Yeah, I'm gonna say as a black man, as a silverback, may not be appropriate for that alien, whatever her name was, animal cracker face, the animal cracker, the pink lady who told LeBron to shut up and dribble. Yeah. But me as a silverback, as a black man to blackface coon, shut up and dribble, whatever it is he gotta do. Yeah, it's very appropriate. I feel like we gotta tell these people to shut up. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, like if you can't like be on code, you can shut up.
Absolutely. It's their responsibility, especially, you know, we're 50 years removed from Civil Rights Act. I mean, come on. You've gotten to this point, so you can have a platform, so you can spin a narrative out there to help your race or, you know, your community. And if you don't feel that in your soul, there's something inherently wrong with it. I know he doesn't go back home and see the people in the streets and talk to the people he grew up with.
No, he don't do none of that.
Yeah, but you got to have some kind of knowledge in your head, in your being, in your soul of what's going on in the United States and around the world. I mean, so it's
A lot of people, bro, don't. I mean, I don't know if they just got the, you know how it is, bro. Some people they don't experience the same thing. I don't know. You got some people who just, man, they never had nobody ride up on them and call them the N-word. You know what I'm saying? It just never lined up for them that way.
come on,
Some
these
of them are high
athletes.
yellow, athletes, and he's different. He's different. You know what I mean? He's different. And all the time, they was just trying to take his money.
Yeah. I'm sure he's been robbed. I'm sure his ex-wife called him the N-word a couple times.
Of course. And the family, allegedly, potentially. Now, yeah, for that last video, though, that was done by the sister on YouTube. Her channel's called Hot Mess. Y'all need to check it out. She be rolling up on coons, bro. And she
I'm
be
gonna
so
like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna subscribe to her channel, just like you should to this one. Like, share.
Facts. Yeah. Now, bro. As a coach, though, you remember when he had that Nike campaign, that commercial. At the time, I was younger. I somewhat agreed. Well, I somewhat agree with him when he was saying he's not a role model. I somewhat agree with it. I did. And then, it was within a couple years, though, bro, I had an experience where I was like, okay, doesn't matter what you say. You are a role model, whether it's for the good or for the bad. Doesn't matter what you say. You are a role model, bro.
One way or the other. I mean, I don't know. Well, at that time, he wasn't on.
Right. He wasn't somebody who
TNT.
I would have wanted, to be. That's why I was like, okay, but yes, yeah. You remember he was elbowing,
He was wilding out. He was,
Yeah.
going to bars, throwing people through windows and all of that crap. But he was young. He was rich.
And he was trying to justify his ignorance. And so I wonder how he would have felt if the police, you remember he used to be playing the race card back in the day too, every time he got in trouble. Right.
Yeah.
Now he ain't.
Now he doesn't understand why you're resisting arrest.
Yeah.
You got to put your hands behind the back and let them beat you with the sticks.
Yep.
So do you want him to be a role model? No.
No, I don't. But I don't. But I think what I was figuring, bro, is that we are, and because I was playing in a basketball tournament for this company that I worked at, and I used to be doing my thing, and I remember I had one of the moms come up to me after the game, and she was like, my sons really look up to you, and I was like, I get it, and she's like, no, they really look up to you, and like some of the stuff you're doing is hard for me to explain, you know what I mean, and it was the games were at like 9 o'clock. It was a nighttime game. I'm not even expecting kids to be there. Like NBA is different. You're entertaining kids. But still, when she said that to me, I was like, okay. It took a while to set in, maybe a week or two. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, okay, I can see where she's coming from. The boys didn't have a father in the picture. You know what I mean? They were identifying with me.
Right.
And I didn't think I was doing nothing wrong, but I was snapping on the refs and stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that was her level of NBA entertainment. Without, especially the price of tickets.
True.
Take two boys to a game.
True. And get them around men. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we all have our part in raising our village. And sometimes it takes a little interaction with a single mom or just a kid comes
she
up.
came at me respectfully too. You know how she didn't come at me. She came at me respectfully, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't offended.
Right. So it's one of those points in your life where you're thinking like, hey, well, that'll take you back to the Charles Barkley commercial. Like, am I a role model? I didn't think I was just playing a time basketball tournament, but now you have shown me that
Correct.
I am for at least your sons that you're bringing to the game to watch me play.
And bro, you got to think, man, even when you're on the street, you walk down the street with a suit, you got a briefcase, there's a kid in somebody's car or walking or standing at the bus stop, you're a role model. You know, if you stand there smoking reefer or drinking or laying in the gutter, you're a role model, bro.
Right.
Whether you want to be or not. But now I'm asking you and also the chat, what, if anything, should and don't answer it yet, Ace. We're gonna answer it again after this, after this video. But what, if anything, should or could be done for coon accountability, meaning accountability? You know, who's going to be these accountability buddies? So, you know, think about that for a little bit. What could or should anything be done to hold these things, these coons accountable? Historically, was there ever anything really done? Is there a code written on this? Maybe this would be something I'd have to ask the elders, but, you know, I have reason to believe that people used to enforce the code. But now just marinate on that as we're going to jump into Jason Whitlock, bro. We got a house. We got a house. And yeah, so he's gonna make some commentary on the Colin Kaepernick situation. So
super calm.
Oh my goodness, he's getting a nice check. I guarantee you, bro. They probably don't even tax the coon check. I bet you it's tax free. You know, that come from the government. 100. Yeah, your coon check. Mm-hmm. Let me see.
Tax.
Hey, Kaepernicks are people who can't get out of Twitter's
He calls them Kaepernicks.
sunken place. An illogical, brainwashed place where Colin Kaepernick is the modern-day Nelson Mandela. Kaepernicks gush about how well-spoken and thoughtful Kaepernick is, even though Kaepernick rarely speaks and communicates mostly through.
If I see him, I think I'll whoop his ass.
Political commentary.
Take the case. I'm serious, man.
Why not?
I would take the case, bro.
Had the audacity to politely ask Black Tebow to cut his hair and
he needs his
present a
ass whooped.
business-like appearance. Black men in suits, ties, and with short haircuts were all over TV yesterday, blasting Vic for gently pushing Kaepernick to dress for success.
Vic, Mr. Cornrows.
ESPN's Damian Woody, while wearing a suit,
wore cornrows his whole goddamn career.
Called Vic's advice.
Well, he got in trouble. They let him out of jail early. You know,
had the nerve to come at the
became a slave when he went to prison.
With Jones calling me a coward, my name was on the Twitter streets. Big mistake. Woody Jones, you ain't ready for these journalism corners. I've been out in these streets since
they castrated Vic.
I've been out here longer than Desus and Merrill been alive. These two Kaepernicks have a TV show on Vice, and they tried to trash me and Vic. Take a listen.
Jason Whitlock invited him like, yo, come here, come.
I think he needs to speak for himself.
I think he really does. Hey, first thing we got to get Colin to do is cut his hair. All right, okay.
This is Michael Vick.
All right.
What the hell are they talking about? He plays football with a helmet.
Come on.
One black man was another black man to cut his hair.
You cut your hair, they didn't accept you then. Like,
he wears a helmet. Michael Vick had cornrows.
Right.
No. Unless you're at a buffet, no.
Apparently never read the Bible.
To be honest, I like these dudes. They're funny. But they're dead wrong about Vic's advice. Black millennials think the older generation is obsessed with how random white people view us. We're not. Being professional, dressing professional.
See, professional is a dog whistle.
By white people. It's
for looking white and acting white.
Ourselves. And finally, let me address Charlemagne the God. This Kaepernick is actually dangerous.
Kaepernick.
He thinks he's smart.
I forgot a word. He can call us Kaepernicks, but we can't call him a
coon. Right.
Yeah.
Cut your hair. You have to go get a job. When you come to court, you have to wear a suit. Okay, or a button up. Don't come in here in no t-shirt and jeans and all white Air Force Ones. You have to look presentable in front of the judge. So Michael Vick's advice is actually great for actual criminals who are going to be facing the judge for their various charges in the future.
Look, Colin Kaepernick works in an industry controlled by white businessmen.
Here we go.
He plays the highest profile, most important position in all sports.
He has an owner.
Took a strong stand on one of the most polarizing issues.
They giving him money.
History.
You know what I mean? They giving him opportunity.
If Cap wants to be taken,
he ain't earning it. He ain't making them more money than they giving him.
Project a more
They giving him
professional
money.
image with his appearance.
Mm-hmm.
If he's seeking Twitter fame
Him and the
and admiration
Kaepernicks.
of Kaepernick,
Yeah, that's how they talk.
he should keep the afro and continue tweeting his way to freedom.
I swear, God forgive me.
That's Colin Kaepernick.
12. I know y'all might be out here, but I'm not gonna say it because I know how the universe is, and God has a sense of humor. I'll see this some bitch. I go out to get me a beer. He'd be
right there.
And man, I'm gonna have my little face diaper on, and man, leave and come back and pow.
People's elbow.
Man, and turn myself in and go viral. Yeah, I did it. Why'd you do it? He's a coon, and I got sick of it. You know what I mean?
Watch the video again on TATN.
So, any commentary about what you just heard there? We kind of talked through it, but well, before you do, let's get the commentary, and then I'm gonna go back to that question I asked before the video was run.
Well, I mean, it seemed Michael Vick has been broken. You know, that was their intent when they enslaved them for those 18 months for killing dogs.
And he
to
didn't
break
do
them. Right, his cousin killed the dogs. He was just the owner of the property.
Right.
But they broke him. They took his money.
Told me to let you out early, and you just got to be a coon for the rest of your life.
Got to be a coon to Peter.
Yeah.
Got to be a coon for the NFL.
Got to cut them cornrows out your hair.
Yeah, that's how they look.
When we say jump, you say how high, right?
Yeah. I mean, they did him like they hate being done. Like they hate being done. They took away his money. They took away his fame, and they enslaved him.
Well, that's what they do. They make you a slave to that money. At least in your mind, you're a slave to it. And it's like, I don't know why you're a slave to it. Like if you grew up as poor as you said you had, even if when the smoke clears, you got 800 stacks in the bank, right?
Right. You can work it out.
You should. You should be able to work it out, bro. You should be able to work it out. If you can go back to any black
open
community.
you a car wash, whatever the hell you got to do. Buy you a building, flip some property.
You don't have to be
cash
cooning.
money, and
you don't have to be cooning.
Right.
It's a choice, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they don't be riding out their time either. You know what I mean?
But then they're paying so many people to take their money that they don't have the mentality of making it on their own. They got to talk to
all the people they feeding, and all the people they feeding gonna say, "Yeah, go out there and coon up." We keep these checks coming.
Get these checks coming. They're gonna give you some more checks if you
coon yourself
on up. Yeah.
And
the other guy, Whitlock. I mean, come on.
Well, we're gonna get to him. But if they were cooning, and then if he was putting all that money in the community, I'd be, that's a sacrificial coon, right? But these coons don't be doing that. They be living all in the white communities and investing with Lowenstein and Loeb, and you know what I mean? But you come at them with a business deal, they look at you like you're a criminal, unless you're talking about, Derek Chauvin some dogs.
Yeah. I mean, look at Rick Ross, who took his money, I guess his leverage as far as business is concerned, and flipped it into quite a fortune. So I don't know where his chicken restaurants are at and all the other businesses he's invested in, but they seem like they're in the Black community as opposed to wherever Charles Barkley is living. So I think he reinvested in his community to make that black dollar churn into having the palace for the movie Coming to America. So he's the king of Zamunda now. So I don't understand why these athletes who have all of this liquidity can't do the same thing. I understand why they don't know what they're doing, but there's people that they can talk to that can help them, in their careers once they're over. Because they know, what's the average NFL or basketball life or even baseball?
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at 15 years, NFL 3 to 6 years, basketball, 10 years. But you got to be setting yourself up for your afterlife. And the money they're making now, my gosh. Come on, man.
So, well, let's back up a little. Accountability, Coon accountability. Should something be done? If so, do you have any ideas on that, or historically, do you have any historical?
I mean, what can be done? They're a slave to the check. They're a slave to the dollar. They're a slave to the mentality or the narrative that's put in front of them to be on these shows or continue these platforms that they have for years to come. Arsenio want to have rappers and black culture on his show. So they canceled it once and they canceled it twice because it's lifestyle that they want to admire and steal and make money off of. But as far as broadcasting to the masses of black people in this country, it's got a limited time show. You got to be dancing and smiling in order.
I would say that I don't promote violence on live public forums, period. But for damn sure, not on live public forums.
Right.
But I would say it would just be a matter of canceling these people and treating them like you would even treat an everyday pink person. You know what I mean? That you're outside of the community at this point into perpetuity.
Well, that's not their concern. If they've moved outside of the community and their main mission is to continue their contracts after 3 years, because I think it's 3 years in the entertainment industry, get that next contract where they can still keep this narrative going of coonery.
Yeah, well, it's I don't know. I mean, I think all of them wouldn't care. Some would. I think part of our issue is that we just let them get away with it, and then we let them come in the community and it's Charles Barkley and woo, and then the kids show up and they give me an autograph, and we all do all that goofy stuff. And I think if we got to a point where we treated them all like the goofies that they are, really treated them with the vitriol that they deserved, they probably would be less likely to coon it up as much if they were actually feeling the energy that we feel, as opposed, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When they go out, maybe an egg hit their car or something. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
I think they're mentally conditioned to stay clear of the black community, unless it's
they come across. They can't avoid us, bro. They can't avoid us. Just like Hot Mess ran up on them.
Yeah.
He ain't got to be in a black neighborhood to come across the black community, bro. You know what I'm saying? But again,
but the majority of the pushback that they would be concerned with would be videotaped or filmed. Even with Hot Mess's video that's available on YouTube, it's not a major. If it doesn't make it to,
I don't care what you say. I think that affects him. He's a human being. These people are affected. They can't. I hear what you're saying. They're humans, bro, and they do what they want for the money. But if we don't put no pressure on them every time we see them, we're just making it easy. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that when 30 or 40% of us are thinking like them, right?
Yeah.
And then, hey, Charles Barkley, it's justifying it in their mind. And I think if we were all on code, like, man, treat him like he's Hitler, you know, and turn your back on him.
Right.
Now you might say it may not affect him. I'm not saying it's going to affect all of them, but I think that they're going to start telling those string pullers like, no, I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the heat's too much. You know, my car's egged every day. It got key scratch. You know what I'm saying? Like all types of stuff. But we still treat them like heroes, bro.
I understand that from our community standpoint, but him being on TNT, TBS, CBS for the last 20, 30 years, as long as the sponsors are okay with him, I don't think the vitriol from the African American community would affect
I
them
will. Trust me,
one
it
way
will.
or
It's
one
just
way or
like
the other.
fans at an NBA game matter, bro. I'm telling you, human energy matters. Now he's thinking, I gotta watch my back. I don't know. So I'm telling you, you got to make these people itch. They will
Yeah,
itch.
most
You have to
definitely.
make them itch. They comfortable. They cooning, bro, and they
Yeah,
comfortable. It's our job is to make them itch as many of them
absolutely.
as possible.
Absolutely. But we have to stick together to make them itch, make
Correct.
them feel some type of way because of the coonery that they're using their platform for. And if we don't do it, or we can't stick together to do it, or write the network, or write him, or email
Correct.
him, or
That's a good one. That's a good
the
one.
things
Write the
that we're
network.
supposed to do.
That's a good
You
one,
know,
bro. I'm gonna write the network. Go ahead. I'm gonna write their ass. That's a good point. I'm gonna write a
yeah,
nasty letter. Go ahead, bro. Yeah.
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 Yeah, if we don't do the things that they understand that may affect their sponsorship or their
Yeah.
bag,
Yeah.
and you know,
Well, that's a
it's
good
just
point.
all talk.
Uh-huh. Good point. I don't know what he sponsors. I mean, he's through I see what you're saying.
Well,
First
he
on the
doesn't
network, I'm gonna
sponsor.
stop watching this shit.
Right, he doesn't sponsor anything, but TNT
You get him fired if you tell TNT, I'm not watching this shit. You keep running these coons out here.
it's
Right.
a, it's it's a platform for all of Shaq's businesses. It's a platform for Charles. I mean,
Bro,
he's not.
one Shaq who's supposed to be a cop. First of all, once he became a cop, I was like, oh fuck Shaq. And then once he became the main spokesperson for the general, how
Yeah.
are you a cop and you a spokesperson for low grade insurance, bro? That's when I was like, this guy will do anything for money.
Yeah, even the situation where he took over for the Papa John's CEO, who used the N word during the
Oh yeah, that was
teleconference.
just figurehead. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And you bring the big coon in
Bully
to
that you think everybody likes. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Makilla
yeah,
Gorilla.
yeah. So haven't talked to Shaq, don't know if he's just doing what he can to make money. And
Well, let's switch up again. What could Kaepernick, according to Jason Whitlock and Coonin A. Smith, which you're going to touch on in the last 10 minutes, what do you think Kaepernick could have done differently, if anything? And is there any value to the Jason Whitlocks of the world to their position? Do you assign any value to that, bro? Like, is there anything you could take away from that of positive nature?
I don't think Colin Kaepernick could have done much different because his message from the beginning has been distorted. It's been distorted by the orange guy. It's been distorted by pink people. It's been distorted by
Coons.
some black athletes.
Coons, yeah.
Coons, yeah. That he's just doing this for notoriety, and
Right.
it doesn't matter what he's doing it for. What is the message? The message is he doesn't want black people to be killed when they're stopped by 12. So I don't think he could have done anything different as far as his proposal to kneel during the national anthem. because
I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. I'm gonna have to agree with you on that. Now, the Whitlock position with the hair cutting and the being professional, what are they talking about, bro?
yeah, fuck both of them. Can I say that on the air?
Yeah, you can. Like, seriously, like, what's that about, bro? I mean, we like, seriously, like, all right, yeah, you said it. That's enough. Yeah. All right, we'll leave that alone. You said it right. Now we're gonna jump into the history of Coonin A. Smith. Okay, so it's a curious case of Coonin A. Smith. I used to be 100, like, I used to think Coonin A. Smith was down, bro. It's like
Yeah.
he came out and he was acting his role. He used to fight, the other dude. He used to be going in on LeBron. You know what I mean? And Skip Bayless.
Yeah,
And I thought
yeah,
Skip was
yeah,
blowing a dog whistle. And Stephen A. would be, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I thought he was down for the brothers and all that. Then he started getting more money in his pocket, bro. They started inflating his ego.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing you know, he started talking about niggas are stupid for smoking weed and questioning, their employer.
Yeah, well, I don't know where to begin on Stephen A. Smith. I mean, it's come on, it's got to be all monetary, all that screaming and yelling, and
Seriously, do you think that he doesn't hold those positions? That he's just doing that? Like, even when he had that other dude on there, the dude from Texas who's been blowing a dog whistle, be on his show, and he's like, he's not racist. He's a friend of mine. I know what's in his heart. And I'm like, you're sitting here, you listening to what this guy's saying? Like, they'll be on there defending Derek Chauvin. He's my friend. He's not racist. If your friend is defending Derek Chauvin, your friend is a racist.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, he might have bought you a drink or two, and bought a couple strippers.
Right.
Bought a couple strippers for you, but
right.
he's still a racist. He just likes black strippers. But
correct. Or man.
But it's so disheartening to have these guys to have these platforms every day on national television, and they use them for absolutely nothing.
It is disheartening. It's extremely disheartening. And when they do start all that screaming, bro, it's
all Coonin. It's showtime. Showtime.
Man. Okay, so now we're gonna get into a short video. It's called Charlemagne the God Confronts Stephen A. And this is actually on ESPN, so they'll probably they won't, because we're doing it the ghetto way.
This is absolutely Colin Kaepernick. This is why I gave Stephen A. Smith donkey today. I didn't like his views on Colin Kaepernick.
Tell us about the shirt and your take on Colin.
I mean, this is a shirt representing Colin Kaepernick. I feel like, Colin Kaepernick should not be getting punished for doing the right thing. I mean, Colin Kaepernick decided to take a stand by not standing, and he took a stand against people that are being marginalized and oppressed in this country. And I don't see anything wrong with that. I think he should be saluted and commended for that, actually.
Well, he supported that. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because when you talk about Donkey of the Day and you said that's one of the times you gave it to me, that's fair. But I don't hear you saying a single word just now that I disagreed with.
Okay.
So what's the problem? Well, I mean, where did the problem lie in terms of what I had
to say? You watched Donkey of the Day. You know what the problem was.
I think you said that his words didn't mean anything because he said he didn't vote.
What I was saying, yeah, that's to paraphrase, not exactly, but that's close enough. My position is clear, and I know that you have an idea about history. You know a little something about history, if not more than me, more than a lot of people. All I was trying to say.
Now you're gonna play ignorant.
Number one is
you know everything when you scream.
We have in our nation today to provoke change is the power to vote. You talk to a lot of black folks, old school, people like Joe Madison and others.
Who the fuck is Joe Madison?
People that bled and risked their lives for us to have the right to vote. For him to come out publicly, and I should not have said it was that he voted or not voted. My real issue with him is that he publicized the fact that he didn't vote, as if to encourage others not to do so as well. And I thought that was counterproductive and counter to everything that he said he was trying to accomplish. To that, you say what?
You know, there's other ways to make change.
Man,
And I agree with that.
You know, Malcolm X was
abstention
one of our
is a
greatest
vote.
civil rights fighters ever. I don't know if you ever
Especially
heard.
when you're dealing with two parties that don't represent your
Correct.
If what
any
you
of
want
your
is
points
not
of
actually
view.
on that ballot. So I mean, you
Times
would,
are different then too.
yeah, but you wouldn't discredit Malcolm X
Never.
as a leader. So
Never.
I'm not going to discredit Colin Kaepernick just because he decided to not vote.
All right. So, yeah, I remember that. And Stephen A., he went hard on a whole lot of other stuff, too. Remember, he was talking about, the guy didn't have a plan. And you know what I'm saying? He went hard, bro.
He didn't have a plan. Well, I mean, his plan was to kneel. And
That was it.
right. And he
People
did
started
that.
asking him questions. Right.
Now you coons with these platforms can expand his plan to find out why the hell every time a black man gets stopped, he's got a chance of dying.
Man, that's what you coons could be doing with your platform instead of saying, well, remember this? And then when he came out in water, the Castro socks and the pig socks and all of that. What, dude? Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, are you a spook? Are you in the CIA? Like, you hate Castro? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you Cuban? Did he do something? Did Castro do something to you? Like, I'm sure he ain't read up on what's been going on in Cuba.
He's never been to Cuba.
Correct. If he was saying that he didn't know the history of some other shit that he was just saying when he tried to play ignorant. Right.
Right. Well, my great grandfather was a slave in Cuba, and he escaped to Florida. And then my grandfather came from Florida up to Chicago, and that's how my family is expressed in Chicago. But in order, just to say that, he's wearing Castro socks, so he's a communist or whatever, the narrative was in the 60s that, he's a communist and that's bad and he's bad because he's got these socks on. Come on, man.
A lot of people in Cuba to this day won't say that Castro was bad.
No.
And they're even Obama and these cats was figuring out, man, when we be removing these people, the country gets worse.
Right. Right. Same thing
Their
with
politics
Saddam
won't be in
Hussein.
alignment with America, but are they taking care of the people?
No, they're going in, destroying governments and
correct,
hoping it gets better. Hoping. But
but I'm not saying, I'm defending Castro. I'm just saying that when I've done my research, there are a lot of, I don't know if they're going to say they're part of the Communist Party. Well, shit, people who defend America are part of the Republican Party and the Democratic Party or what have you,
Right. I'm part of the thinking party, and the ideology that's put out by the Republican and the Democratic Party needs to be taken over by the thinking party.
Facts. You know what I'm saying? Facts. All right, so Ace, we unpacked it. What I want to do now, bro, we ran through all the videos. So anything you want to add, and then we're gonna do your the guest's final words, and then we'll wrap it up and get this set up for next week. And I gotta try to figure out what's going on with all my equipment, bro.
Technology.
So anything you want to add? Yeah, my technology. Anything you want to add that we didn't cover, and then if so, add it, and then if not, just go ahead with your conclusion, your wrap up, and your plug.
Well, I mean, I was thinking this week about, the coonery and sports casting and newscasting and the platforms that these different African Americans have to make a change in this country. Yes, they're beholden to these contracts and these companies that they work for, but as a Black male, Black female in the United States of America, you have a obligation to your people. And just because you work for ABC or ESPN or TNT or TBS doesn't mean that you don't have an opinion about what's going on in this society, in this world, and what's going on every day. Every week, we have a different person being killed, victimized, oppressed by Pink People 12, the government, and you do have an opinion. So use that platform to voice that opinion, to make a change in this world. You all come on talking about, I want to say happy Mother's Day, happy to my grandmother, to my mother, happy Father's Day to my father, to my grandfather, these people that paved the way for you to be where you're at today. So they paved the way. Walk down the path, make a path for the kids, your children that's coming behind you, people that are coming behind you, because you have a platform to make a change. So make a change. It's
Man, and then
2021.
well, yeah, Ace, and then before you hit your final wrap, I'll just add to what you just said, man. Yeah, and along with watching black men get killed over nothing, um, over there in your neck of the woods in Logan Square, you get this pink dude. He don't like the yuppies moving in. Tells everybody, "Watch what I'm gonna do." Jumps in his pickup truck, drives in the park over the park, and just runs people over, bro. And then this happened last week. And then, bro, Pink Man. And then, so now the only reason he didn't keep running people over is because a water cooler got stuck up under his whip, so he couldn't move no more. Get up out. They drug him up out the car. About to get him. He got a knife, bro. Sitting there wielding a knife. 12 came and somehow arrested this man without incident.
Without incident.
We're talking about somebody who premeditated, and when you get his criminal history, he should have never been out of jail, bro. When you get his criminal history, this is a pink man, though. This is a pink man. Premeditated it, bro. Premeditated it. Criminal history, all this and that. That man ran over white people, ran them over, and that with a truck, vehicular attempted homicide, and that man 12 wasn't afraid of with a knife, wielding it at people. 12 wasn't afraid of him. Somehow they brought him in without incident.
Yeah, we got to figure out. We got to study him. We got to see what his mental capacity was when he committed this act. It had to be something mentally, or drug related. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to take him in and make sure he gets the help he needs.
And so America, that's kind of like, not to shift gears too much. I mean, that's kind of, the two things that we look at, in this country. It's one thing to say, okay, yeah, there's police brutality, and then we get these coons and these house Negroes coming out, and anytime you're getting arrested, and then you just gotta comply. If you don't comply, you're gonna die. You comply,
they can comply.
Right, you can comply.
They'll be okay. They'll be fine.
Then we watch knife wielding people who don't comply in Chicago, bro. Now you know how CPD is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not one shot. He didn't get tased, nothing.
No, they want to figure out what's going on.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. They got to figure out what his motive was, and
he must be having a bad day.
Yeah, they said with the Asian. Yeah, that was crazy. They fired that dude, bro. This dude's a spokesman for the police. Came there, he was feeling bad for the white boy, bro. That was crazy. He was out. Hey, but yeah. So, just if you want to do a final plug or anything, or you did it, it's on you, bro. Because we're about to wrap this thing up, and then I'm gonna get down to figuring out what the hell's wrong.
All right, well, just wrap it up. Let's let's keep it going out. Let's keep TATN. Like, share, and subscribe to all your friends, all your people, all your like-minded individuals. Understand that we can only uplift each other by helping each other. We all we got. We all we got. So let's make sure that you, your family, everybody's watching TATN to get mentality of a silverback. You don't want to be a silverback, ask yourself why not.
That's right. Where the silverbacks at? Where y'all at? Hey, I'm with Ace on that. Get at us next week. Our tech will be back to where it needs to be. Where the silverbacks at? Step up to the plate. Silence is violence.
Come on,
Silence
brothers, we
is
need you.
violence. If they coons, call them coons, man. George Floyd died, bro. He died because we all are at
$20.
war. Man, we at war. We let our guards down. We at war, y'all. These people are at war with us. It's been like that since they brought us here. So, just because you want to ignore it and stick your head up your ass and bury your head in the sand and you want to think the best, nah. Their agenda is the eradication of the black man and by extension, the black family. That has always been so. And for you coons out there, stop that goddamn Coonin. Man, stop that goddamn Coonin. And Ace, what we say? Y'all take the gloves off. Take the gloves off. Get them paws up.
Let them have it.
Man, guard your grill. Knuckle up. Don't forget to bring your mouthpiece. We see y'all next week, 9